Hello, my name is Marvin Ednako, and today I will be presenting my research project, which is housing price trends during the COVID-19 pandemic in the US. So from 2019 to 2023. And before I begin my presentation, I would like to apologize for not being able to present this live. Unfortunately, I have a family emergency during our meeting time, so I apologize for that. So, quick overview. This project analyzes monthly average housing price trends throughout COVID from 2019 to 2023 in five US counties: Queens, New York; Travis, Austin in Texas; Ada County, Boise in Idaho; San Francisco County in California; and Miami-Dade in Florida. So, some background: housing and migration during COVID. The COVID-19 pandemic caused major lifestyle shifts across the US. So many people left large, expensive cities like San Francisco and New York and moved into more affordable areas like Austin, Miami, and Boise. Remote work allowed people to relocate without changing jobs. And these population shifts affect housing demand and influence price changes in different regions. So my research question is, what impact did the COVID-19 pandemic have on housing prices in these US counties from 2019 to 2023? And my hypothesis is I think that the cities that experience high levels of in-migration during the COVID-19 pandemic, such as Austin, Boise, and Miami, will show a greater increase in housing prices compared to cities with high out migration like San Francisco and New York. So these are my sources. I used NAR Realtor blogs to decide which states I would use, and for my housing price data set, I used Zillow. So this is my process on how I did my project. So first, I downloaded the CSV housing price data from Zillow. And then I used Python and Pandas to clean and restructure the data. So I filtered the data set to focus on the cities that I wanted to work with. And I removed unnecessary columns and converted the wide format. So the Zillow data file, every column header was a date, which started from 2000. So I wanted to format it so that it would be in one column and that it would only be from 2019 to 2023. And then I used Plotly to create an interactive line chart showing housing prices over time. So I have a default view which shows all the city trends together, and I have a drop-down menu if you want to look at each trend individually. So this is some sample code I use to clean and some tools I use. I use pandas. And so I reformatted the Zillow housing data from wide to long structure using pandas. So that's the one I was talking about, converting the multiple dates as the column headers into one column for the dates. And then some more sample code. I used Plotly to create the interactive customizable line graph with drop-down filters to explore the housing price trends over time. So before we look at the graphs, I want to say disclaimer, this is an early look of the data. So we can go to the graph first in the website. So this is the graph I created with Plotly. So if you hover over the line in the graph, it'll show you the average price per month in the county. So yeah, you'd see New York, Austin, Texas, Miami, Florida. Yeah. And then if you want to go to an individual view, you can go to this drop-down menu and just choose which county you want to see. So Queens County, and that's all. So first we'll look at New York, Queens County. So at the start, January 2019, the average sale price was $715,000, and at its peak was at July 2022, where the average sale price was $819,000. So that's in percentage a 14.6% increase, and in dollar value, it's $104,000. In Austin, Texas, Travis County, at the start of 2019, this average sale price was $383,000. And at the peak, again at June 2022, the average sale price was $681,000. So the price increase from start to peak was it was a 77.6% increase and or a $297,000 increase. And in San Francisco, the we started at $1.3 million as the average sale price per house. And in May 2022, the average sale price jumped to 1.5 million. So that's a 14.5% increase or a $193,000 increase. However, if you look at the graph from our peak in May 2022 to December 2023, the average sale price dropped by 19% or $246,000, which is lower than what we started with in 2019. So in Miami, Florida, we started at $347,000, and the average sale price continuously went up until December 2023, which was $570,000. So it's a 64.4% increase or a $223,000 increase. And in Boise, Idaho, Ada County, we started at $296,000, and in June 2022, the average sale price jumped to $539,000. So it's a 82% increase or a $243,000 increase. So in our findings, for our top percentage increase, our top three were Boise, Idaho, Austin, Texas, and Miami, Florida. And our bottom two were New York and San Francisco. And in for top dollar increase, it's basically the same with our top three. Instead, we have Austin, Texas on top, and then Boise, Idaho second, and Miami, Florida in third. And then our bottom two again were San Francisco and New York. So, in conclusion, San Francisco and New York had the lowest increase in housing prices, both in percentage and dollar amount. So this aligns with the national migration trends where these cities saw the highest outflows during the pandemic. In contrast, Austin, Miami, and Boise experienced significant price growth, reflecting increased demand from incoming residents. So these results support the idea that migration patterns during COVID-19 directly impacted local housing markets. So yeah. And then for future action, I would like to explore more factors, so including data on income, employment, and rental trends, so I can better understand what else is driving these housing prices. And I would also like to improve the GUI. So I want to build a full interactive dashboard with filters for city, time range, and other variables that I could possibly think of. And I would also like to compare across years. So analyzing pre-pandemic and then mid-pandemic, which is around what I did, and then also post-pandemic data to see how trends change over time. So what I learned how to gather real-world data from online sources like Zillow and recognize the importance of verifying file formats. And I also learned how to clean data using Python and reshape data sets, filtering for specific cities and handling date formats so I can ensure accuracy. So if there were duplicate names or anything. And so my acknowledgements. This research project was supported by the National Science Foundation through the NSF SCIPE Cyber Infrastructure Pacific Professionals Summer Research Program. And I would also like to give a special thanks to my program mentors, Dr. Alex, Mr. Gavin, Mr. Connor, Mr. Luke, and Mr. Kaipuni. Uh, I would like to thank you guys for supporting me through this project and program. Thank you, and that is my presentation.